Hello students, welcome to Arhan Civil Service Institute. Myself Rajesh Sharma, I am your history faculty and today I will be taking your Assam history class in which I will discuss Ahom-Mughal conflict, which is very important for your civil service exam. Okay, so all of you know me, the Mughals and Ahoms, they were in constant conflict with each other right from the time of Suhummun till the Battle of Itapuli. Okay. So I will start from the battle of the time when Suhummun, during the time of Suhummun, when the first Muslim invasion of Assam took place. That is Mughal invasion. Okay. So, whenever we are discussing Ahom-Mughal conflict in sense of mains exam, now it's not prelims, so we have to discuss about mains. So, whenever we are discussing about mains, we have to know about the significance of Ahom-Mughal conflict. Okay, what was the significance of Ahom-Mughal conflict? So, let's begin. Ahom-Mughal conflict. All of you know that the Mughals had started their rule in India in the year 1526 after the first battle of Panipat. Okay, like every other empire, the Mughal Empire also was interested in expanding their empire all over India, from north to south, from west to east. So with this expansionist policy, like every expansionist policy, the Mughals also eyed upon Assam. They wanted to take over Assam. Okay. So it was not the first time that the Muslim invasion on Assam had taken place that was during the reign of Suhummun. It was during the time of, it was much earlier, okay, that the Muslim invasion on Assam took place. But what is the significance here? The first Muslim invasion on Ahom kingdom. Okay, all of you know only that the first Muslim invasion on Assam took place during the reign of Prithur, not during the reign of Suhummun. But Suhummun's time, what is important, because it was the first Muslim invasion on the Ahom kingdom. Okay, so in a book is given only. It was during the time of Suhummun we hear of the Mohammedan invasion. Okay, this written here. Clearly it is given that Suhummun, during the time of Suhummun, the first Muslim invasion on Assam, that Ahom kingdom, took place. Their attacks was repulsed because yes, the Ahoms defeated them. The important invasion during the reign of Suhummun took place in the year 1532 when Turbak Khan, a Gaur commander, that means he was the commander of Bengal, he attacked upon Assam. But his army also was defeated and Turbak Khan was killed. Okay, Turbak Khan, the commander of Gaur, that is Bengal, he attacked on Assam, but he was defeated and he was killed. The next attack, so in a book also you can see. So, Ahom-Mughal conflict, you can say, began from the time of Suhummun, and first invasion already said it occurred. Second, then it occurred during the time of Turbak, when Turbak Khan attacked Assam. Then the next Mughal invasion, many invasions occurred in between, but the next invasion occurred during the time of Pratap Singha. In your this, it is shown here. Pratap Singha. Okay, Pratap Singha, also known as Buddhist Narayan. Okay, during his time, another Muslim invasion took place. It was when the Nawab of Bengal, Sheikh Qasim, he attacked upon Assam. Okay, the reason it is given here that Bali Narayan, that means he was the king of Parikshit Narayan. Okay, sorry, he was the brother of Parikshit Narayan. He had fled from Kochhaju and he had taken shelter in Ahom kingdom. Okay, so Parikshit Narayan, he had taken help, that means he had taken help from the Bengal king to get his brother back. And a Mughal trader who was murdered near Kaliabar. Here it is given. So that's why due to this two reasons, the king of Bengal, he attacked upon Assam. Okay, but same result what happened? Initially the Mughals were successful, but at last Ahoms were able to defeat them. Okay, Ahoms defeated them. Here also it is given. The Mughal commander forces were taken by surprise by the Ahoms, both in land and water, and the Mughals had to face defeat. Okay, continuous defeat. It is, you have to always remember that whenever the Mughals came to Assam, they were always defeated. Maybe they were successful for some extent, but most of the time they were always defeated. You have to remember that Mughals were defeated by the Ahom kings nearly 17 times in Assam. Okay, most of the history book, it is always written that the Mughals were defeated by the Ahoms nearly 17 times. Again, many fights occurred between the Ahoms and the Mughals. It was continuous. Yes, cursor is slow. So you can see here many Ahom Mughal conflicts is given. So most important conflict in this invasion was the yes. See again here it is given first hostilities began in September 1612. So in between many Mughal Ahom conflicts took place, but we will not discuss all. Okay, so I will discuss the main important points. So which is
how we can structure the answer.
We can structure the answer by discussing the important Ahom Mughal conflicts.
Yeah.
It will become short as the answer time limit. The word limit is there.
Introduction.
Yes, definitely we need to give. Already I said when it started from the time of Sohamu, Ahom Mughal conflict started. That is the introduction. Best part. Okay.
And body part, just important.
Yes, important Ahom Mughal conflicts. It is the important part. Yes, this one. I was discussing. We got again zoom out. Yes, now it's coming. So here it is given. After discussing about the earlier invasion, just now what I discussed, then afterwards we can discuss here. And another fresh invasion was made by the brother of Nawab, Mir Jinauddin. Okay, same, he was the king's brother, that is the king of Bengal, Mir Jinauddin. So same policy, because the Mughals wanted to take over Assam. So here it is said, he was helped by Pran Narayan. Here it is written, Pran Narayan had helped him to attack Assam. Okay, why I am saying this is important? Because during this invasion only, the Treaty of Asurar Ali was signed. Very important. Treaty of Asurar Ali. It is an important event in the Assam Mughal conflicts, because it almost, you can say, it ended the Ahom-Mughal conflicts at least for a certain period of time. It did not end the Ahom-Mughal conflict permanently, but it ended the Ahom-Mughal conflict for a certain period of time. See here this way. Now Mirror Jainuddin, when he attacked Assam, Mughals were defeated sometimes, Ahoms were defeated. Ultimately, it was decided that better not to fight, and the Treaty of Asurar Ali was signed. Here you can see in October 1637, the Ahoms attacked the Mughal army, but they were defeated. Again, in Barbada, the Ahoms were surrounded from all sides by the Mughals and were beaten. The Mughals soon occupied the Agastori and Srighat. The Kajali fort was soon captured by the Mughals, and Ahoms had to suffer a serious naval defeat in 1638. So many defeats are there. Ahoms were defeated, Mughals were defeated. Finally, it was decided that better to end the conflict. And when it was decided that it was better to end the conflict, and thus the Treaty of Asurar Ali was signed. See here, Asurar Ali. Now, why Asurar Ali Treaty is important? Treaty of Asurar Ali is important because number one, already I said that Ahom-Mughal conflict, it was ended at least for a short period of time. It was not ended permanently. Okay, by what was done? Asurar Ali is a place in Guwahati. Okay, Asurar Ali is now also known, most probably it was the Rajgarh Road. Okay, which is in Guwahati, Rajgarh Road, and Varanasi. Varanasi and Rajgarh Road was fixed. That means Asurar Ali was fixed. The area between Varanasi and Asurar Ali. Varanasi, it is fixed. It is said that it is in present day Kamrup. It is a river which is flowing in Kamrup and Dauram district. Okay. Asurar Ali is a road which is in present day. It is in Rajgarh Road. Rajgarh, it is known as. So these two places were fixed on the boundary of Ahoms and Mughals. By this, you can understand that Guwahati was completely given to Mughals. Yes, another important thing. Guwahati was always the center of Ahoms and Mughals conflict. Okay, be it Battle of Saraighat, be it Battle of Itapali, Guwahati was always the center of Ahom-Mughal conflicts. Asurar Ali and Varanasi was fixed on the boundary of Mughals and Ahoms. Mughals, they accepted that they would not interfere in the internal, they would not cross this boundary. And Ahoms also recognized the supremacy of Mughals over Kamrup. Then afterwards it became silent. For some years it was silent. Ahoms and Mughals, they remained silent. But this Ahom-Mughal conflict again started. When it started? During the reign of Jayadratha Singha. Very important king, Jayadratha Singha. Jayadratha Singha, during the time of Jayadratha Singha, this Ahom-Mughal conflict started again. Okay, why it started? As we all know, that in 1658, in Delhi, Shah Jahan, he had become sick. Shah Jahan had become sick, and his four sons, including Aurangzeb, they were fighting to become the next king. That means there was political instability in the Mughal Empire. Whenever political instability takes place, what happens? The neighboring kings of the, or you can say feudatory kings of the dominant king, they always try to become independent. So Ahoms also decided to become independent. That is not independent, that is, they decided to take Guwahati back. Ahoms were already independent, but they decided to take Guwahati back. And Jayadratha Singha, he planned to take Guwahati back. So with this plan, Jayadratha Singha, he marched towards Guwahati. Okay, see here. He marched towards Guwahati and the Mughals was the Guwahati. He fled from Guwahati and went to Bengal. Okay, thus Guwahati came under the control of Ahums. And this had correction Pran Narayan. Okay, now question comes Pran Narayan, why he sought alliance with the Mughals? Here it is written, see here. The Pran Narayan, the ruler of Coach Bihar, sought alliance against the Mughals from the Ahums. Okay, he sought alliance with the Ahums for taking that means against the Mughals. But the Ahums, they did not make alliance with Pran Narayan. What they did, they defeated. See here it is given. They defeated the Coach and drove the Coach away from the river Sankos. Okay, and thus the whole Brahmaputra valley came under the control of Ahums. Now, when Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, he came to know about all this, that Guwahati was overtaken by Mughals, the Ahums, sorry. What he did, he decided to take back Guwahati and he ordered Mir Jumla. Here his name is given. He ordered Mir Jumla to attack upon Assam and take over Guwahati. So Mir Jumla, he came to attack upon Assam in 1662. Okay. So Mir Jumla along with Rashid Khan, both of them they took an army, that means they led an army and attacked upon Assam. Okay. When he came to Jogigoppa only where it is. So Jogigoppa, so when Mir Jumla reached Jogigoppa, what happened? The Ahums automatically they could not fight against the Mir Jumla and they retreated from Jogigopal. Okay. So it's written here. Ahums could not give resistance to the Mughals and they retreated from Jogigopal to Srighat. Oh, again I jumped out. Yes, now it's correct. So the Ahums could not fight against the Mughals. Okay, because they were small in number, they were not in large number. Ahums were not in large number and Mughals were in large number. And they automatically attacked on Ahums in Jogigopal. And they retreated to Srighat. It is written here. When they retreated to Srighat, Jayadhav Singha, he again sent the army. But same result. Why? Not so huge army. So by this way, Mir Jumla he captured Guwahati back. But he was not satisfied here. He decided to take over the whole Ahom kingdom. And he marched towards Upper Assam. He put a plan banala je mo gutte Ahom Mughal under kare. Ar he tagane ki korle Upper Assam le march korle. And he was remember, it is true that he was the only Mughal commander to reach the Ahom capital. Not anyone before him and not anyone after him could reach the Ahom capital. It is very important to know that Mir Jumla was the only commander who could reach the Ahom capital, that is Gorgaon. Okay, तेवन আগতে কোনো কোৱা নাছিল আৰু তেও পিছত ৰামসিং আক্ৰমণ কৰিলে তেও গুৱাহাটী লৈকে আহিছিল কিন্তু তেও গড়গাঁও গৈ নাপালে but Mir Jumla was the only Mughal commander who could reach Gorgaon. ইমান powerful আছিল Mir Jumla. See, it is written, see here. Gorgaon. Mir Jumla reached Gorgaon which was very significant because in the history of Assam, no Mughal commander had reached Gorgaon, and Mir Jumla was the first commander to reach Gorgaon. Jete Ahom nije haribol, beleg lage dar kote kibo. Beleg Rajapur ekebare haribol, nije surrender korle. Here in Sweden, many chiefs and rajas submitted to him, and those were Solda Raja, Dimoria Raja, Dharam, etc. Those Ahoms gave a little fight, but they also could not fight, and they were defeated. And finally, Gorgaon fell to Mughals. Gorgaon was captured by the Mughals. What happened due to this? Jayadar Singh, the Ahom king, he fled from Gorgaon. Okay. তার কারণে কি হল গড়গাঁও এর ফলে জয়দেব সিংহ পলাবল হল এটা বহুত এটা মানে হেৰি আছিল বুঢ়াগোহাঁই হাতত দি গৈছিল he gave the administration to the in the hand of Buragohai and Jayadar Singh he fled from Gorgaon. See, I said it. Now King Jayadar Singh ordered the Buragohai to remain at Gorgaon, and he himself, along with the Barfukan and the Barbunga and 5,000, fled to Namrup. Already I said about it. Okay. Now, complete Assam, that means Ahom kingdom, was under the control of Mughals. But question comes. Though the Mughals occupied the Ahom kingdom, they could not stay for a long period in Assam. They only Assam thakibo norile. Kyo norile? Main reason asile here climate. Okay, main reason was here climate. The Ahoms, the Mughals soon suffered from various diseases like cholera, malaria, dysentery, and heavy rains, which completely destroyed their camp. Mughal camps बर्बाद कर दिले बुरगुने. So it is important date here. It is important date given here. On 17 March 1662, Mir Jumla entered the Ahom capital Gorgaon. Gorgaon captured Mir Jumla. It's a very important date. You have to remember. After capturing Gorgaon, Mughal rule was started in Assam. But already I said they could not remain in Assam for a long period of time as due to the climate. Already whatever I said is written here. See here. As the rain continued, Mir Jumla found it difficult to maintain his outpost and retreated to Gorgaon. Already questioned. বর্ষণৰ কাৰণে অনবৰত বৰ্ষণ আছে আহোম আৰ্মি attack কৰি আছে এফালে বৰ্ষণ দি হৈ আছে Ahoms, that means Mughals were unable to sustain here. Okay. तेमन लोग की करले negotiate करे बहुत माने Ahom माने Mughals soldiers they requested the Mir Jumla to negotiate with Ahoms and leave Assam as soon as possible because they were suffering from various diseases like malaria, cholera. Already I said just now. तेमन लोग के ए बेमार पर Ahoms, they were again successful in taking over most part of Assam. Here it is already right. Most of the country had been occupied by the Ahoms, and Jayadar Singh returned to take charge. Why? Because Ahoms were able to take over the most part of Assam. Okay, and due to this, what happened? The Mir Jumla and his army got trapped here. Okay, क्यों ते लोग जीपुर एरिया कैप्चर कर लेছিলে সেইপুর এরিয়া আপু আহমসে ক্যাপচার করে ললে আর গড়গাঁও ঘেরি বলে ললে ওকে গড়গাঁও was soon surrounded by the Ahoms and the food and reinforcement, the food supply, everything was cut off. It is said that Mir Jumla and his army had begun to starve. খাবলে একো নাপালে আৰু তেওঁলোকে ইমান বাধ্য হৈ গৈছিল যে নিজৰ ঘোঁৰা কাটি ফেলাই খাবলৈ ল'লে. They were forced to kill their own horse and eat them because they had no food to eat. Anyway, here it is written already. Moreover, the food supplies had decreased and fever and dysentery plagued the Mughal army, and therefore they could not remain here. তেওঁলোকে যিমান দিন থাকিলে ইয়াতে শান্তি থাকিব দিয়া নাই আহোম সেনাই. So most of the Mughals, that is Mughal soldiers, they were already threatening Mir Jumla that they would go back, they would run away from Assam if he did not negotiate with the Ahom king. And meanwhile, what happened? Mir Jumla himself became sick here. Mir Jumla নিজে বেমারি হয়ে গেল. এতে মির জুমলা বেমার এফলে নিজের আর্মি পলাবলে ললে তার কারণে কি হল নাও মির জুমলা had to finally request the Ahom king for peace. It is written here. Mir Jumla also fell ill and his soldiers were not at all risky and all ready to risk another rainy season and hence threatened to desert him. Threatened to desert him. It already question was. Already I said that these soldiers were ready to desert him. That means that Mir Jumla এরি ফলে পলাবলে রেডি ছিল আর সেই সময়তে কি করলে Mir Jumla also was ready to negotiate with the Ahoms. Thus the Nawab was compelled to negotiate for peace with the Ahom king. The famous treaty of Giladhari Ghat, one of the most humiliating treaty for the Ahoms. The famous treaty of Giladhari Ghat was concluded on January 9, 1663. बहुत এটা মানে ডাঙৰ যে treaty আছিল আৰু এটা বহুত লজ্জাজনক treaty আছিল আহোম সকলৰ কাৰণে. Why? Because Ahoms lost their independence to the Mughals. By this treaty, Ahoms had to accept the Mughals as their supreme king, that means ruler. Okay, that means Ahoms became under subordinate to the Mughals by this treaty, the Giladhari Ghat treaty. By this treaty, what was that? By which the country west of the river Dharali on the north bank and the Brahmaputra and the Kollam on the south was ceded to the Emperor of Delhi. Half of the kingdom was almost, you can say, not half, you can say, but large part of Ahom kingdom went to the Mughal empire. Okay, and they had to accept the supremacy of the Mughals. Mir Jumla but he could not survive. Okay, though Mir Jumla he was successful in compelling the Ahoms to sign the treaty of Giladhari Ghat, he himself could not survive because he was already half মানে বেমার ইমান বেশি বেমার হৈ গৈছিল যে তেওঁ খুস্কাৰি যাব পৰা নাই. He was taken in palanquin from Assam to Bengal and he could not reach even Bengal. He died on the way. Okay, he died on the way. It is written here, see. But on 30 March 1663, soon after this, Mir Jumla gave orders for returning to Bengal, already I said. But on 30 March 1663, very important, on 30 March 1663, he died just before reaching Dhaka. Dhaka is where? It is the former name of the capital of Bangladesh, Dhaka. Okay, in those days it was called Dhaka. So soon after this one, Jayadhar Singh also he died. He could not survive, and he also died because he was too much shocked by the war. Okay, and he also survived. But before dying, okay, he made Chakradhar Singha, his successor, promise that his Chakradhar Singha would free Assam from the hands of Mughals. And with this, Jayadhar Singha also he died. Okay, and after that, Chakradat Singha, he became the king of Assam. And here it is written, the Hindu name Chakradat Singha. Okay. Next king, he became the king of Assam, Sukhumvung. Sukhumvung, also known as Chakradat Singha. And he vowed to remove Mughals from Assam anyhow. He took a promise that yes, I will remove Mughals from Assam anyhow. And at once ordered Lasit Borphukan to march to Guwahati and retake Guwahati. So in 1667, Lasit Borphukan, he marched towards Guwahati to take back. Guwahati. So Guwahati, that means Faujdar of Guwahati was already changed. Okay. Before Rashid Khan was the Faujdar of Guwahati, now Sayyid Firoz Khan, he had become the Faujdar of Guwahati. And Lasit Borphukan was very much successful in removing the. It's written here. Yes. 1667, the Ahom army under Lasit Borphukan set out to take Guwahati from the Mughals. Okay, the outposts at Kajoli and Banasbari were taken by the Ahoms after a siege of 2 months. Guwahati and Pandu were captured too. Okay, so Guwahati was again taken back by the Ahoms. Okay, though Mir Jumla was successful in taking over Guwahati, but again the Ahoms were successful in taking back the Guwahati. So when Emperor Aurangzeb came to know that Ahoms had taken over Guwahati, what did he do? He ordered Ram Singh to attack upon Guwahati, Assam, to defeat the Ahoms fully and finally. And Raja Ram Singh set with an army towards Assam. Raja Aurangzebe Gompale, Je Ahome Guwahati loi loise. Tetia Aurangzebe ki order dile? Raja Ram Singh order dile je apni Ahomok mane Guwahati aku retake korilo. You retake Guwahati. So in 1668, see, Raja Ram Singh, he was sent by Aurangzeb to retake Guwahati and Assam. Okay. So Raja Ram Singh, he was accompanied by Rashid Khan Singh. Earlier he was the Faujdar of Guwahati, and he was ordered by. Then he was accompanied by Raja Ram Singh. In the battle of this, that is where Raja Ram Singh he reached Assam, and some battles were fought between Ahoms and the Mughals, and in these battles, initially the Ahoms were defeated by the Mughals. In here also this one, in the battle near Keshpur, the Ahoms were routed, but they soon gained a naval victory and also took over the fort at Ramahal. Okay, the Mughals were again defeated at near Swarapasi, both on land and water. So when Raja Ram Singh he attacked on Assam, so Lasit Borphukan, he was the commander at that time. So he started negotiation with the Raja Ram Singh because he did not want war directly. He wanted some time so that the Ahom army could prepare for the war. Okay. Yes, and he built some forts in and around Guwahati. All of you know the famous Mumaiko Tagore, which was built by Lasit Borphukan in one night to counter the Mughals. Okay, but Raja Ram Singh he was getting restless. because Ahoms were always delaying the war. They were not directly indulging with the Mughals, and he challenged the Ahoms to directly confront the Mughals. But Chakravarti Singha, the Ahom king, he did not directly come in the war, but he instructed Lasit Borphukan to fight with the Mughals at the battle of when I did tomorrow. So Chakravarti Singha, he ordered the Lasit Borphukan to engage with the Mughals in the battle of Alaboi. So in the battle of Alaboi, the Mughals were successful and they defeated the Ahoms, and nearly 10,000 soldiers, 10,000 Ahom soldiers died in a single day fight, because Alaboi was an open field and Ahoms then the Lasit Borphukan, he was not at all ready to fight in an open field with the Mughals. Thus what happened, the Alaboi battle was a disaster and the Mughals won. Now Mughals began demanding that Guwahati should be given to Mughals and Ahom should retreat back. Okay, so after this battle, Chakravarti Singha also, he died, and he was succeeded by his brother Udayavidya Singha. Here it is given here. Chakravarti Singha was succeeded by Sunitva or Udayavidya Singha. His brother was. Okay, so Udayavidya Singha, he was determined to remove the Mughals from Guwahati, from Assam, that means. So he ordered Lasit Borphukan to now fully engage in war with the Mughals, and thus the Battle of Saraighat began. So all of us, we know only the Battle of Saraighat is very important battle in the Assam history. It is given the battle. The Ahoms also marched from Sandhara to Srinagar. In the engagement, the Ahoms were successful, but due to the naval defeat, the army had to retreat. Okay. The Battle of Saraighat, which is very famous, it occurred in 1671. Okay, and in this battle, the Ahoms were able to defeat the Mughal army, the mighty Mughal army, very decisively. But the battle was not a very easy one for the Ahoms. Okay, their own commander, Lasit Borphukan, he was sick, he was ill, and he was lying in bed because he was sick already, I said, and he was giving instruction from the bed to the Ahom army. And you know, without commander, without leader, no army can fight. Okay, that is when the Battle of Saraighat started. Lasit Borphukan was very ill and he was lying in bed and instructing his army from the bed. And the Ahom army was almost, you can say, deserted because there was no leader. They had no inspiration because they always needed commander to lead them. Okay, so the Ahoms, they won the battle in the land very decisively, very nicely they fought, but in naval warfare they were weak. They could not succeed because Lasit Borphukan, he was lying in bed. So when Lasit Borphukan saw that his army was now slowly deserting, what he decided to? He decided to jump himself in the war. He got up from the bed and took the hangdong and fought with the Mughals, jumped in the boat and fought with the Mughals. And this battle was very importantly known as the Battle of Saraighat. And in this battle, the Ahom army led by Lachit Barphukan defeated the Mughals so badly that they had to retreat to Gwalpara. Okay, and from the 1671, Gwalpara became the boundary of, that is Hadira, near Hadira river, it became the boundary of Ahom and Mughals. Okay. And after that, in 16, after this was, though it was the, you can say it was the last Ahom Mughal conflict, but yes, it was not the final. The final battle was in the Battle of Itakuli. After leading the Ahoms to victory at the decisive battle of Saraighat, Lachit Barphukan, who was ailing, succumbed to his illness. Already I said. Lachit Barphukan, he did not die, he did not survive after the battle. He also died after the battle. Okay, soon he died, and but the Ahom victory was completed. The Battle of Saraighat is a very important battle in the history of Assam. All of you should know. This battle, you can say, it showed the how Ahom's army was very brave and how Ahom army was very strong, and it defeated the mighty army of Mughals. And with this battle, the Mughal army, the Mughal weakness, not army, the Mughal weakness also was exposed. Many people had come with Raja Ram Singh to Assam, like Guru Tegh Bahadur. He had accompanied Raja Ram Singh to Assam in this battle, and he was amazed by the bravery of the Ahom army. Okay, the bravery of Ahom army was spreaded all over India by the people who came to Assam. That means by the Mughal army who came to Assam. Okay, and Lachit Barphukan, he himself was compared with the Shivaji. Okay, Shivaji, he was compared. That means Lachit Barphukan, so much brave he was. I'll not discuss too much detail. So next comes the Battle of Itakuli. That is the final battle between the Ahoms and the Mughals. So after the Battle of Saraighat, the Guwahati was taken over by the Ahoms. Okay, but still, due to the internal fighting of the Ahoms that occurred between the period 1671 to 1681. Okay, what happened? The Mughals also got the opportunity. Okay, in this period, you know, only there occurred succession of kings. Okay, many kings ruled during this period, during these 10 years, Ahom kings. So, internal fight, due to the internal fighting, the Mughals got an opportunity to retake Guwahati back. And yes, and it was retaken by Mughals in the year 1677 to 1669. It was retaken. When the Sudaifa was the Ahom king. Jeta Sudaifa Ahom Raja sile tetia Mughale Guwahati aku retake korile. And it was only taken back by the Ahoms after the Battle of Itakuli. That means during the reign of Gadadhar Singha. Jeta Gadadhar Singha Ahom Raja sile tetia hai Guwahati retake korahal. After the Battle of Itakuli, in this is given. Okay, after the Battle of Itakuli, Guwahati was retaken by the Ahams, and this war was the final war between the Ahams and the Mughals. Okay, after this war, there occurred no Ahom-Mughal conflict. Mughal conflict was finally ended after the Battle of Itakuri. So this is all about the Ahom-Mughal conflict. So in this part, you have to discuss about the significance of their conflict. Okay. So with this, I end today's class. So I will continue this class in next session. So I end this class. Hope you all of you have understood.